one of them days where technology is not my friend. Unfortunately, that happens a lot. Are we at least good on sound? I know portrait mode sucks, but are we at least good on sound? Can y'all hear me? Let me know in the chat. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Wisconsin? Christian? Joey, if you're there? Okay, good. Sound is good. That's the main thing. If you can hear, hey, I'll do a radio show if I have to. As long as you can hear me, that's all that matters, you know? I like the camera. Portrait mode sucks really bad. Too many words, guys. That'll work. So, my laptop doesn't want to comply with me today. It's been slow for the past, I don't know, week maybe? I don't know. So me and Joey, we'll try to figure it out tomorrow and have that fixed for you. But for now, we're going to have to go in portrait mode. I know, I hate it. Sucks. Not my favorite thing to do. It is what it is. So we're also going to try... So we've been trying to... Number one, come up with a lot of ideas for the Patreon page. And then once we come up with the ideas, we have to actually try those ideas out. What's the noise in the background? That's actually a small fan that I have because I do vape and I didn't want it to like sit there in front of you. Hold on, let me see if I go farther away if that'll work. Give me 1 second. It's supposed to be only a 3-foot radius, so I don't know why it's picking that up. Is that noise annoying y'all? Let me know. But anyways, we made it. We're here. We're live. And the reason I'm not doing a live show later this evening is because we're actually going to go out for glow bowling. Like my family and then my wife's sister family, we're going to all go glow bowling. So I'm doing a live show now. But we're also going to do live shows for the Patreon page once we figure that out. So here's the plan. So we're going to do a regular live shows here, but then we'll do like a continuation live show for the Patreon page. So that'll be another benefit for people that have joined the Patreon page. So we'll always do the live shows for you guys, and then if you want the rest of the live show or more of the live show, then that will be on Patreon. And you don't have to be like a certain amount. You can be the lowest, you know, that's fine, whatever. So, there's just a few things we got to figure out. Patreon's a lot more complicated than what I thought, as far as putting out videos and going live on Patreon. Y'all give me I got to take this hoodie off. It's kind of hot in here. Alright, there we go. Much better. A little warm in here, a little warm in here. Even though it's a little cold outside. Maybe we need to turn down the heat. I don't know. We have some big time winds going on today. And I got this like sniffles thing going on or something. I don't know. It kind of started last night. But yeah. Spring games are rapidly approaching us. West Virginia's is going to be April 23rd. I don't have the dates for everybody's, like if you're a Georgia fan, Clemson fan, Oklahoma, you know, I don't have the dates right in front of me. But I know that the spring games will happen in April, and we'll know more about who we're keeping, who's going to hit the transfer portal, who we're going to go pursue in the transfer portal. So I'm pretty excited about the spring game. But what I have heard about West Virginia spring practice is that our offense is looking really, really good this year so far. People are saying even Garrett Green looks really good. I think that's going to be a big difference from last year to this year because of Graham Harrell. He's going to instill confidence into these quarterbacks. In fact, I think if West Virginia would have had Graham Harrell last year, Jarrett Doege would have been a halfway decent quarterback. That's how big of a difference Graham Harrell is making already. He likes Garrett Green, he likes Will Crowder, and of course Nico Markle. With the pass of the day, with that 55-yard corner out, I'm not sure if it was a touchdown pass, but if it wasn't, it was close to one. So a lot of great things happening in Morgantown. That's why I've been making videos and try to kind of talk West Virginia fans kind of back from the cliff, because, man, the more I'm a member of, like, I don't know, 15 West Virginia Facebooks, and the mood is not very good, and I don't even understand why. I think it's mainly because they're paying attention to the numbers entering the transfer portal, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. The people that are in the transfer portal are the ones that needed to go in the transfer portal. No Neil Brown guys have entered the transfer portal. If that started happening, that would be a little concerning. So I think we're headed in the right direction, and that's why I made that video earlier today. So y'all let me know what's going on with you guys. What are you excited about? I know Talkus Pitt said Pitt's having their spring game, I think April 9th is what he said. And we do finally, now this is only temporary, but we do finally have a shelf for displaying the mini helmets. So once I get my P.O. box, then you guys can send in the mini helmet of your favorite team, and we'll be able to display them in the background. And I'll get some type of platform or something. That way it's a little bit higher, because right now it's not. I mean, the top two shelves are in camera shot, but anything below that are not. So I need to get something to prop it up. But we'll get that done. The problem is, P.O. box, the cost of a P.O. box has gone through the freaking roof, and it's annoying, to be honest with you. So right now, if you donate through PayPal, and Joey will put that in the link, anything donated through PayPal right now is going towards the P.O. box, because that is priority number one. We got to get that P.O. box. I've had one before, and I believe they allowed me to get it for 3 months, but now they're saying you have to get it for at least 6 months. That's how bad the postal service is hurting right now for money. So you have to get it for at least 6 months, and it's like close to $200. I think it's like $179, $189, something like that. So either way, we're going to get it, but I'm just saying every donation through PayPal will go towards that, and it would greatly help a lot. All right, so the guys that came back because I tried to start the live show through the laptop. That did not work, so we had to restart, and appreciate you guys coming back even though I had to restart. Let me do some quick shout outs real quick. Christian here early saying sounds good because we were doing the sound check. I appreciate that. Jay Glizzy 1999, very consistent these days. Trent in the SIP. Go check out his YouTube channel if y'all get a chance. He's got some good stuff going on over there. Same thing with Talkus Pitt, trying to grow his YouTube channel. Let's see, Neo. I met Neo at the Slob Olympics, by the way. He's a pretty cool guy. Ben Herndon. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Ben Herndon. Shout out to you, sir. Captain Trips says, sup, champ. It's good to be the champ still, even though people, my gosh, I was not expecting people to be whining this much. I would have not even accepted the trophy if I would have known that. It's ridiculous. Mountaineer News 2 in the house. Lee Wilder. Let's see. Jacob Watson. Thanks for stopping by, bud. Big time supporter. VicTube Productions. I met VicTube over at the Slob Olympics as well. Zona Tucson 93. Good afternoon. Sorry that your Wildcats got beat yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? I'm thinking it was yesterday by Houston. I had Houston. See, my brackets are done. Over. There's no hope. No hope. Kentucky, who I had going to the national championship, of course, they got beat by St. Peter's, who made it to the Elite Eight. First ever 15 seed or lower, higher, however you want to word that, to get to the Elite Eight. That's amazing stuff. So, yeah, Kentucky was St. Peter's first victim. And then I had Arizona going to the national championship and winning the national championship. And then, of course, they get beat by Houston in the Sweet 16. So it is what it is. I knew Houston was a good team, but I don't know. honestly did not see that coming. I think, and I know this is hard to believe because it's the NCAA tournament. It's the big dance. Why would you not show up? Why would you take a game off? Why would you take it easy? Why would you not play anything but your A game? But I really think that Arizona didn't take Houston as serious as they needed to. And that's why I think Arizona lost. Because Arizona, very good team. I think they only had 3 losses the entire season. 3 or 4 losses. Excellent team. No bad losses. A lot of great wins. So, yeah, that one surprised me. Houston, I knew they were good. I had them going to the Sweet 16, but I had them losing to Arizona, I believe. I think that's how I had it. I'd have to go check. Arkansas is still in the dance. Yes, I had Arkansas falling to my Cinderella story in New Mexico State. I had them going to the Elite Eight. I think getting beat by Arizona. No. Beating Gonzaga and losing in the next round, whoever it was. So that didn't work out. And then, of course, I had Providence going to the Final Four. I got the matchup. I had Providence, Kansas. I had those 2 games of the Sweet 16, but I had Providence upsetting Kansas. That didn't happen. And, oh, by the way, just in case you didn't know this, Kansas is now the most wins of all time out of any basketball program in history. One more than Kentucky. So, Kentucky losing in the first round and Kansas getting this far directly contributed to Kansas now having the most wins ever of all time. So, congratulations, Kansas fans, but you need some more titles to go with all those wins. What happens in the big dance? You got to the Elite Eight. That's more than what you usually do. The majority of the time, you get to the Sweet 16, and that's it. I think there was 3 times in the last 20 years you got the Final Four, national championship twice, and then won the national championship once. So, even though Kansas is the all-time, well, they're not the all-time winningest. I'd have to go check the winning percentage, but they have the most wins of any basketball program. So, can they get another national championship? We'll see. They're looking pretty good. They beat a pretty good Providence. Who would they have next? Is it North? No, St. Peter's has North Carolina, I believe. Y'all let me know in the chat. I'm having to use my phone, so I can't look it up. Kansas, who do they play? Is it Arkansas? I don't think it's Arkansas in the Elite Eight. Dadgummit. I think isn't the Elite Eight being played today to get to the Final Four? I don't have it right in front of me, so y'all let me know who Kansas plays to the Final Four. We have 22 watching right now, only 13 likes, so please, if you have a quick second, hit the like button or the down button. Either way, doesn't matter. I'm not looking for a pat on the back. What I am looking for is for this video to hit the YouTube algorithm, and that's exactly what hitting the like up or the like down button does. So grab a quick second, hit it. It's fast, free, and simple, and it helps the video a ton. When you hit that algorithm, this video gets suggested in more places, more people see it, more people click it, and more people come and talk, and that's what this is all about. Eddie Rose says, "Hi Chris, I have a question. What makes West Virginia and Missouri so similar?" I think they're in the same budget range, and they're close in all-time wins and winning percentage. I think their fan base is similar as far as Missouri and West Virginia's. There's a lot of similarities between Missouri and West Virginia. I wouldn't say the same thing about Oregon State. I think Oregon State's maybe a notch below Missouri and West Virginia. I would put West Virginia, let's see. Okay, so in the Big 12, I would put West Virginia in the same category as a Baylor. Even though Baylor's having more success right now, West Virginia has had that success before, and Baylor has had some bad years, West Virginia bad years. So I think winning percentage and all-time wins are around the same mark as well. So I think West Virginia, Baylor, not Kansas State. Now, right now maybe, but all-time, no. Kansas State used to be a terrible, terrible program. Oklahoma State, not Iowa State. They used to be really bad as well. And Yeah, those would be the three that I'd had in the same category in the Big 12. Move on to the Big 10. What? Hold on. It's actually not a bad little thing to write down real quick, guys. Give me 1 second. And I'm listening to ideas, by the way. Same category as West Virginia in football. Okay? Who do you think is in the same category as West Virginia in football? So in the Big 12, my votes would be Baylor and Oklahoma State. Would y'all add anybody to that list? I wouldn't. Kansas State was atrocious before Bill Snyder. Iowa State is feast or famine. They're consistent under Matt Campbell right now, and the stadiums are pretty much identical, so there's that too. TCU, no, because they haven't even been in a Power 5 conference for very long. Texas Tech, no, close, but no. I think they've had more down years than anything. I could be wrong on that. If I have Texas Tech subscribers, I'm not trying to make you mad or anything. I just don't know the history of Texas Tech all that well. So we'll try to come up with different categories. And the first category is who's in the same category as West Virginia. We'll do the elite categories, bottom feeders, and everything in between. But today I want to try to come up with teams that are in the same category as West Virginia. So any ideas out there? I think that's going to sum up the Big 12 as far as who's in the same category as West Virginia. I have Baylor, Oklahoma State. That's it. Kansas, definitely not. They have a historically bad team. Let's go down the list real quick. Iowa State, probably not. Close, but probably not. Kansas State, no, because they used to be horrible. Oklahoma, no. Oklahoma is above West Virginia. Oklahoma State, yes. I would have Oklahoma State in the same category as West Virginia. Texas, no. Historically great. I know I hate them, but facts are facts. Baylor, yes, in some regard. TCU, no, because they haven't even been a power school for very long. Texas Tech, I would say a smidge under West Virginia, and that's about it. So unless anybody else has a suggestion and a reason, don't just throw names out there. Give me a name and a reason why you think they're in the same category, even if it's as simple as they remind me of West Virginia. Something as simple as that is fine. So, just give me a reason. We'll see. So, let's move on to, Let's move on to the ACC, okay? Same category as West Virginia in college football only. We're not talking basketball, baseball, or anything else, wrestling, whatever, rifling, no. Football, same category. We're moving away from the Big 12. I didn't see any more suggestions, so we're moving on. West Virginia, Baylor, Oklahoma State. In the ACC, who's in the same category as West Virginia? Well, I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up as far as geographically. Miami, the Hurricanes. No, I would say they're actually a notch above West Virginia. Right now, if they played on a field, it'd be a good game. But historically, Miami, more championships, more consistently great. Not to mention when they were in the Big East, owned West Virginia. So, no, Miami. Let's see. Florida State. No. They owned the 1990s. Definitely have more national championships. West Virginia would beat Florida State right now on a neutral field and at home. Probably on the road as well. But historically, all right, so moving on up. Who would be next? Maybe Georgia Tech? I know people will argue that Georgia Tech has a national championship, so that would put them above West Virginia. But historically, I don't know. Similar, yes. Right now, West Virginia's above Georgia Tech, so maybe it evens out. What do y'all think? Should I put Georgia Tech in the same category? I'm thinking about it. I really am thinking about it. Because they've had some really good years. Won the national championship, I think it was 90 or 91. One of those 2 years. Any objections to Georgia Tech being in the same category as West Virginia? Let me know in the chat. I'm going to write it down unless there's some big arguments. Compare West Virginia to Georgia. There's no comparison. Georgia's just a notch above West Virginia. Even though we did beat Georgia in the 2006 Sugar Bowl. If we could be more consistent now, then we could rise up to Georgia's level. But right now, Georgia's just a notch above. Any argument about Georgia Tech being placed in the same category as West Virginia? Yes or no? I need to know. And if I don't see anything, I'm just going to go ahead and write it down. Georgia Tech in the same... And if they're not, are they below or above? If you have an objection with Georgia Tech not being in the same category as West Virginia, tell me, are they above West Virginia or below West Virginia? Jacob saying West Virginia better historically than Georgia Tech. Joey Foster acting in as me in the chat saying Georgia Tech worse than West Virginia. I'm seeing some good argument. Anybody else as to why? Eddie Rose says no because they're terrible. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of objections. Georgia Tech stays below West Virginia. All right, I'm good with that. That's cool. All right, let's keep on moving up the ACC. Clemson, no. Clemson is definitely a notch above West Virginia. They have 3 national championships, and they're looking really, really good right now. Okay. Hummus Hero says Georgia Tech is notch above. Well, either way, they're not in the same category. I've seen Tech is no one with their coach. 1990 tied Colorado. Yeah, that's right. That was a national championship share. Good point. Either way, Georgia Tech not going in the same category. Clemson, no, way better. Let's move to North Carolina. That's interesting. The Tar Heels, I would say yes. I think North Carolina and West Virginia are very comparable in football. Seriously. They've been pretty good at some point, but pretty bad at some point, and mediocre at some points in their program's history. I like North Carolina being in the same category as West Virginia. Any arguments against that? Because I don't see any. I really don't. I would probably say even the winning percentage and all-time wins would be about the same. All right, we're going to go ahead and write down North Carolina unless I see somebody just go absolutely nuts on me. Jacob saying, yeah, they're comparable. I like it. I about wrote down, because I said the word comparable so much, I about wrote down North comparable. Gamecock Chuck, my most loyal South Carolina subscriber. Thanks for stopping by, bud. We're just trying to come up with teams that are in the same category, and today I decided to start with the same category as West Virginia. Maybe the best way to describe this category is maybe on the precipice of being great, but something either stupid or just unlucky happens. They get knocked down, they climb back up again, get knocked down. So, pretty good program overall, just can't quite get over the hump. They're not consistently elite, but they're not consistently bad. So, I do think North Carolina would be in the same sentence. All right, so let's keep moving. Duke, absolutely not. Duke is trash. They've always been trash, and they always will be trash, even though they almost won the ACC. Well, they didn't really almost win the ACC in 2013. They won the Coastal because the Coastal was bad. But Duke, not in the same category as West Virginia as far as football goes. All right, so, well, we're going to go conference by conference. Right now, we're in the ACC as far as who's in the same category. NC State, I would vote NC State as well. They definitely remind me of West Virginia in a lot of ways. It's funny that you mentioned that West Virginia should have joined the ACC in 1953. That's one of the reasons why West Virginia hates Maryland. Maryland was the team that kept convincing people to keep us out. That's why we have a pretty strong rivalry with Maryland. I agree with that. We should have joined the ACC back in 1953, but you can thank Maryland for that. Dakota the Gamer says, just got your koozie. Thanks, by the way. Love your channel. Hey, no problem. By the way, anybody that wants a koozie, just email me. I'll say it, but Joey's going to put it in the chat. refsuck@gmail.com is my email. They are free. I still have plenty. And once I run out, that's when they're going to go on to the merchandise store and they won't be free anymore. So all the ones that I had pre-made are going out free. All you have to do is email me. But when we run out, we're out and they'll go on to the merchandise store. Joey says no, NC State not in the same category as West Virginia. Why is NC State not in the category of West Virginia? I would think they're pretty similar. They're not historically bad, but they're not historically elite. They've been on the precipice of being really, really good. I think they're, for the most part, consistent. So what would be the major argument for NC State not being in the same category as West Virginia? They're like 40th in all-time win. That's not bad, though. I mean, out of 130 teams, 40th in all-time wins, that's not terrible. I mean, that is below West Virginia, but when I say in the same category, I don't mean like within 1 or 2 spots. I mean like roundabout, like 20, 25 spots, something like that. I would say NC State's right there with us. Yes, below us in all-time wins and winning percentage. I mean, even their stadium kind of reminds me of our stadium a little bit. Their fan base, kind of similar. I would say ours is a little bit, well, much more passionate. But, yeah, I would say, yeah, it is 25 spots below West Virginia. But that's not, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, that's not like, oh, they're way out of our category. I don't know. I like NC State in the same category. Anybody else got a major argument why NC State should not be in the same category as West Virginia? West Virginia in football. Yes, we are talking about football. Football. Any other major, and that is an argument, Joey. I'm not saying it's not an argument. They are 25 spots above us in total wins. But I still think that's close enough. I mean, we're not talking like bottom of the barrel, like 80th, 100th, 120th, 130th. I mean, they're in the top half in winning percentage. Well, I mean, top quarter. Yeah, top quarter as well. They're in the top quarter in all-time wins. 54th. Oh. I thought they were higher than that. They might have a ways to go before they get up to our category. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to have to say no to NC State. That's a little bit bigger of a gap than I realized. Yeah, we're going to have to vote them down. Unless I see some major arguments for NC State, then you convinced me, Joey. That's a big deal. That's a big gap. That's still in the top half, but it's not in the top quarter. So that's a big enough. But it's close, man. That's close as far as being in the same category. Not close to West Virginia in all-time wins, but being considered in the same category. And NC State doesn't have the peaks that West Virginia has. I would agree. In consistency, they are similar, but they don't have the peaks. There's a lot of things you got to take into consideration. Buck J says, how close is West Virginia to the ACC getting? How close is the West Virginia to the ACC deal to getting done? Plus, we have played in a natty. Hold on. Plus, we have played in a natty, unlike them. That's true. That's true. How close to a deal? Well, here's how I can explain the thing with West Virginia going into the ACC. There are some things that West Virginia has to meet before they get a formal invitation. All right. So West Virginia and the ACC have talked. West Virginia wants in the ACC, and the ACC wants West Virginia. However, there are some things that need to happen before we get the formal invitation. Number one, we had to extend the runway at the airport. Guess what? That is being done. Second thing is improve our academics. And if I'm not mistaken, I think West Virginia is actually actively pursuing AAU status, which that would actually help us get into the Big Ten. I don't see it. I don't see the Big Ten accepting West Virginia. That's not going to happen. But point is, they're improving academic status, and so there's a few things that West Virginia is working on to get the invite. The ACC wants West Virginia, but they're like, first do this, and then we're good. So as far as the actual timing of it, I don't know. It just depends on when these things get done. That's the biggest thing. And whenever they did an interview with Shane Lyons about it, he said, stick that in your hip pocket. We'll come back to that later. In other words, we're working on it, and then we can talk about it whenever we have things done, and then we get the invite. All right? There is the thing that people get confused with whenever I was talking about West Virginia, the ACC, and maybe I flat out said it wrong, was they thought that I meant that West Virginia has the invitation right now. They don't. Okay? They don't. However, that's because they just have to meet those few things before they get it. Once they get it, they'll accept it, and then they're good. And I know they're working on the runway right now. I think they're supposed to be done next spring, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe next summer, something like that. Not sure about the timing on the academic thing, but it's a work in progress. So it's kind of right in the middle. Think about it. It's not, okay, nope, it's not happening. No, that's not what's going on. But it's also not like done deal. That's not the case either. What it is they mutually agree that West Virginia wants to be there and the ACC wants West Virginia. It's just, you got to do this stuff first. So that's where that is right now. See what I'm saying, guys? Proof is in the pudding. 33 watching now. Because you hit the like button, this thing got suggested more, and now more people are watching. Now all the new people that have joined us, we need you to hit the like or unlike button as well. And it gets suggested even more. So we're literally seeing your work pay off. You're the one that hit the like or the down like, and it got suggested more, and boom, we have more people in the chat. That's how it works. That's why I try to explain it. So yeah, if you haven't hit the like, quick, fast, easy, free, hit it. Helps the video a lot. We appreciate it. Right now we're on the subject of who's in the same. We're dividing categories. All right. We will do elite and we will do bottom feeders. But right now we are doing who's in the same category as West Virginia. Not necessarily mediocre, but not elite. Close to being elite. They've been on the precipice of winning a national championship. Fairly consistent in winning. At least top 40 in all-time wins and winning percentage. Brent B says Texas Tech. I knew as soon as he got in here he would say that. We kind of voted against Texas Tech. They're not a bottom feeder, but I'm not sure what their all-time win is. We have to look at all-time wins and winning percentage as well. So, if you want to look that up and give me that, or Joey wants to look that up, we'll consider Texas Tech. Oregon State. No. Oregon State's not a bottom feeder, but probably in the level between where West Virginia is and bottom feeders. Oregon State has had some issues. They've had a few time periods or eras, whatever you want to call it, where they've been pretty good, but yeah, Oregon State's not in the same category. But right now we're in the ACC. Teams that are in the ACC, we're going to try to go conference by conference. Texas, see, that's what I'm talking about. Texas Tech 72nd all-time. That's not going to cut it. Sorry. It is what it is. Let's stay in the ACC, guys. We'll go that way. We're not bouncing all over the place. We're going to go conference by conference, all right? And we're working our way up the ACC. We're in the state of North Carolina. We've already put down North Carolina. We voted out NC State. Duke, heck no, not going to happen. Wake Forest, I would say solid no. North Carolina's in. Yes, Trenches. Trenches amped up. Not just Trenches, but Trenches amped up. That's what I'm talking about. He's turning it up a notch. Yes, we have voted North Carolina in. They are good to go. So let's move on to the state of Virginia.
This should be interesting. Well, let's talk about both of them. Virginia Tech. I would actually give the nod to Virginia Tech and the X to Virginia. I know Virginia does have a national championship in 1990, I believe, but a national championship doesn't really change things unless you're consistent. I would say if you're within 30 spots of West Virginia and you have a national championship, that would put it. That would be good. That would be good. Virginia, 38th. And they have a national championship. Yes, 1990. Virginia makes the list. They sure did whenever they were wearing those white helmets. No, they don't have a recent national championship, but the stipulation was if they're within 30 spots. Okay, y'all got to realize there's 130 college football programs, all right? So there's going to be sections. You can't just take, okay, only these 5 teams are in the same category. There's going to be a good, 15, 20 teams within us. So one of the things is try to be within 20, or you can be within 25, 30 if you have a national championship in recent college football history. And I think recent college football history starts in 1980 is considered recent college football history, if I'm not mistaken. I thought Virginia does have a national championship. What? I thought they had a national championship whenever they were wearing those all-white helmets back in the early 1990s. Dadgummit, how did I miss that? All right, well, I was thinking 1990. My gosh. So what was their all-time again? It was what, 34th? 1990 was Georgia Tech and Colorado. Well, then I thought it was 90. It was flip-flop, whatever. West Virginia does have a losing record against Virginia, but we really haven't played them all that much. What was their all-time number? I know you posted it, but I do not see it anymore. Dadgummit. I thought it was actually decent. 37th. I think that's close enough, guys. I think West Virginia's top 25. I mean, that's only 12 spots off. I would say yes. I would say yes. How do y'all feel about Virginia being in the same category? I know right now they're kind of in a not down, but down-ish. But so is West Virginia. 1920. Well, I was right, but not really. No, that doesn't count. Yeah, West Virginia would be an improvement to most ACC programs. Not all, but most. Any arguments about, Raven Vane? Okay, Raven Vane says close enough. I would say close enough, too. I think that's close enough for Virginia to be in the same category as Virginia. What do y'all think? I think so. I think that's close enough. What, 34th, I think is what he said? 37th. Joey says they're 37th in wins. That's close. West Virginia is like 23rd or 24th. That's only like 13 spots off. That's what I'm saying. I would think they were, maybe like not right where we are and not maybe slightly above us, but overall in the same category. You know what I'm saying? You can't just pick the 2 or 3 that's just around us. I don't know. I think it's close. What about Virginia Tech? Help me out, Joey. Where's Virginia Tech on this? I might be able to look this up. Hold on. John Waffle with the $1.99 super chat. Appreciate it, bud. No, UVA has a national championship. West Virginia doesn't. I think he's talking about the 1920 national championship. I thought they had one in 90 or 91. Maybe 90. No, not 92. That was Alabama. I don't know why I was thinking that. I don't know. Who knows? But yes, you can support Golden Bluted by hitting that little dollar sign down on the bottom right. That is the super chat button, and that guarantees you that I will most definitely read your comment. By the way, Virginia Tech, guys. Virginia Tech, where are they at? I'm going to start looking up this stuff too, so give me 1 second. Let me get on this fakakta internet. 17th, so yes, definitely Virginia Tech. What's the verdict on Virginia, by the way, guys? What is the verdict on Virginia? It's close. It's close. It's close. Close, close, close. Hold on. And by the way, we need to cross-reference these all-time wins, numbers, and winning percentage. That's important too, because some programs haven't been around as long as other programs. So you gotta look at the the winning percentage as well. Honestly, the winning percentage might be more important. Oops, sorry, I kicked the camera. Oh, hold on. I would say winning percentage would be more important. Okay, but you do have to take into account. All right, here's the winning percentage, guys. I have it up. This will help us out a lot. But whenever we're looking at these, we also need to look at, like Coastal Carolina is top 15 in winning percentage, but they're a group of 5 team. And they've only played like 200 games. That's not going to do it. So whenever you look, so West Virginia is 27th in winning percentage. Virginia Tech is 25th. So we're good with that. Where's Virginia on this? Man, they're worse than I thought. What the heck? 77th. No. Virginia. No. Well, VicTube says, look at Webster throwing shade. Ever since Alabama lost to Georgia in the national championship, he's throwing shade to anybody that'll look. He's pretty upset right now. So he's going channel to channel throwing shade. All right, so Virginia Tech, yes. Virginia, no. Let's move on. Louisville. I would think Louisville would be similar, but maybe not. 76th. And they haven't played as many games either, near as many, like 200 less or something like that. So Louisville is a no. They would seem similar, like at first thought, but I'm gonna have to say no to Louisville. Then there's Pitt. You knew we were gonna get to them. Where is Pitt? Where is Pitt? Pitt is. Am I missing it? Hold on, I had to have overlooked them. Dadgummit, why do I do that? Alright, here we go. Where are you, Pitt? And I'm looking on winning percentage, by the way, guys. 39th. I think that's... Yeah, and they have... they don't have a national championship in recent history, but it's 19th... I would say yes. I would say Pitt and West Virginia are comparable. West Virginia's 27th in winning percentage, and Pittsburgh's 39th. I think that's good. I'm writing them down. Any arguments? I'm not looking at all-time wins, number of wins, because some teams have existed longer than others. Get off the total wins list. Go to the winning percentage list. All-time winning percentage has Pitt at 39th. And it has West Virginia at 27th. This is not elite category. This is like kind of under elite category. We will do elite category, but right now we're calling this the West Virginia category. Been really good. They're not really bottom of the barrel. They've been close to being really, really good. Not quite. Something happens. Whatever. And we're talking about recent college football history, not the 1910s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s. And the 80s are starting to get close to being ancient history. That's making me feel old, but it's getting close. And we're doing conference by conference. Right now we're in the ACC. So I went ahead and put Pitt down because they're 39th in winning percentage and West Virginia's 27th. So I think that's close enough. So when you're looking at winning percentage, you need to look at how many games they've actually played. That way you're not looking at a team that's not won a lot or played a lot. Because if you've only played 100 games, then you're probably going to have a better winning percentage than somebody that's played 1,000. And conference. What conference are they in? What conferences have they been in? All right, so moving on from Pitt, let's go to Syracuse. If you would have asked me this in the 1990s, I would have said yes, but now they have dropped number 51 in winning percentage. See you, Trenches. Amped up. Come back later. Or next live show. Yeah, Syracuse has only won 56.2% of their games. They're all the way at 51. Pitt has won 57.5% of their games. They're 39th. And West Virginia has won almost 6%, 59.6% of their games. Very, very close right there. Thanks for stopping by, bud. Let's finish up the ACC at least. Syracuse, what about, Boston College, 42nd, 57.3%. I would say that's pretty close. Maybe that's right on the edge, guys. What do y'all think? That's what I said, 57.5%. It's literally what I said, John W. Wait, there's two John W's. John Waffle, not Jeff. I was thinking Jeff and John. John Waffle, that's what I said, 57.5%. Who was I talking about? Oh, Boston College. What do y'all think? They've played the similar number of games. Hold on. That's about 900. West Virginia. No, West Virginia's probably got 150 more. And Boston College all the way down at 42. That's close. What do y'all think? Boston College at number 42 in all-time winning percentage. Would they be in the same category as West Virginia? Pitt is not above 60%. They're not. Hold on, let me where we're if you're talking about total wins, then yes, they have 749 total wins. West Virginia has 769 total wins. So we actually have 20 more wins all time than Pitt right now. And Pitt has a winning percentage of 57.5. West Virginia 59.6. So I think that's similar enough. Martin Perez, JT Daniels to Mizzou. No, not yet. He's actually making his visit to Morgantown this weekend right now. He should be in Morgantown right now. So that's definitely not a done deal. All right, back to Boston College, guys. What do y'all think? 42 overall, 57.3%. 57.3%. Pittsburgh was 57.5%. I think that's close enough. I think Boston College can be right up, can be in the same thing. Who all remembers watching Tony Dorsett, the running back for Pitt back in the 1970s? I sure don't. I wasn't even born. Boston College. Any arguments for Boston College to not be in? Buck J says, I'd put them in myself. I think so too. 57.5% versus 57.3%. I mean, that's only a 0.2% difference. I think Boston College is there. I'm going to do it. Boston College. Is that everybody? Did I get everybody in the ACC? I think so. I got Syracuse. I got Boston College, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, Duke, NC State, North Carolina, Louisville, Pitt, Clemson, Georgia Tech, Miami, and Florida State. I think that's all of them. I think we got them all, guys. We got about 10 more minutes, so we can do one more conference. Let's make it the SEC, okay? We'll do SEC. Georgia, no. They're in the elite. Alabama, no. Elite. Just to back up what I was saying earlier about Texas, number 7 in winning percentage. Yeah, they're in the elite category. All right, so in the SEC, who's in the same category as West Virginia? Who is in this? And Clemson is 21st in winning percentage, but because of those 3 national championships, that's what knocks them out. They're higher. Okay, so in the SEC, LSU, I would consider elite. Tennessee, even though they're down now, elite. Texas A&M, close. It's actually close, guys. Very close. They are 24th with a winning percentage of 60.5%. And Texas A&M hasn't had a national championship since back in the 20s. I say yes for Texas A&M. And I know that sounds crazy because they just had the best recruiting class of all time. But they also have Jimbo Fisher and went 8-4 last year. What do y'all say? Yes or no for Texas A&M? They are number 24 in winning percentage at 60.5. West Virginia is number 27, 59.6. 59.6. I'm saying yes until somebody convinces me no. And if you want to go to the national championship tiebreaker, they haven't had one since like 1920 something, maybe 1930s or 40s, but that's it. So it doesn't count. That is way back when. Any arguments? Texas A&M going into the same category as West Virginia. Now, if they win a national championship next year, that would definitely, they would go on to the next level because that would be kind of a tiebreaker. Texas A&M, guys. What's your opinion on Texas A&M? Arkansas, I would go ahead and say yes. 36, 57.9. 3 spots above Pitt. So I'm going to go ahead and put down Arkansas. Yes, I like it. What about Texas A&M? Joey says same for Texas A&M. Anybody else? Y'all good with A&M being in the same category? John Waffle, 199 Super Chat. Appreciate that. And he says TAMU is a blue blood. No. No, they're not. That is incorrect. Right now, they have a ton of money, and they've upgraded their facilities to above 100,000, and they're recruiting at a high level, but they're still not elite. 8-4 last year. 8-4, and they have about the same winning percentage. Everybody else says put them in, so I'm doing it. Texas A&M, I'm going. They are not a blue blood, man. How did you even come up with that, man? Oh, that one hurt. All right, I'm going to look at, I don't think Mississippi State's going to make the cut. I think they're below, but I might be wrong. But I'm going to look at Mississippi State and Ole Miss at the same time. Ooh, I might be wrong about. Oh, Ole Miss 63rd. 54.7% winning percentage. I can't do it, guys. I cannot put Ole Miss in the same category as West Virginia. Maybe if West Virginia starts having bad years over and over and over, and Ole Miss keeps doing what they're doing, we can do it. But right now, it's too big of a gap. Too big of a gap. And, sorry, Eddie Rose, but Missouri is 66th. Oh. Yeah, Ole Miss has natties, but is it in recent football history, guys? You have to do... If they have a natty back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s, that doesn't really do anything. Oh, man. Missouri at 66. That surprises me. Ooh. What do y'all think? Yeah, it was in the 60s. Archie Manning, was it? Yeah. What do y'all think about Ole Miss? They're all the way down at all right, so here's who we're looking at. Ole Miss and Missouri. Missouri is done lost it. 66th. And Ole Miss 63rd. I think Mississippi State's even lower, man. Yeah, Mississippi State's 95th. They're definitely out. Honestly, I thought Missouri was higher. I really did. I definitely thought Ole Miss was. So the names on the table: Ole Miss, Missouri, and Mississippi State. Ole Miss is 63rd. Missouri 66th. And no, Mississippi State's off the table. They're 95th. So it's going to be Ole Miss or Missouri. Either one of those. What do y'all say? I know Joey said no to both, I think. West Virginia's up at 27th. Oh, sorry. Kicked it again. Should Ole Miss and Missouri be in the same category as West Virginia? They're at 66 all-time and 63rd. Missouri's actually lower at 66. Buck J is saying Missouri. Joey's holding true no to both. I might do a video on this. That one's actually, I'm actually surprised. Jacob says Ole Miss no, Missouri yes. Ole Miss is high. I'm totally confused. And John Waffle says yes to both, of course. Jeff Grimm says neither team should be. Man, we are definitely divided on this one. Oh. Jacob says unless we're counting what they did in the 50s and 60s. I mean, technically we are because it goes into their record, but that's only for a tiebreaker, and they're not close enough for a tiebreaker. See, now we can't take you serious, John Waffle. Kansas, dude, I understand trash talk, but that's not even believable trash talk. I don't know. What's on me? Oh, that's ink. I guess I drew on myself. I didn't know. Yeah, there were a couple periods where Missouri was really good. You're right about that. I don't know, man. That one's tough. I'll put those two on the burner, and we'll decide that at a later time. Let me go ahead and write them off to the side. Ole Miss and Missouri. Arkansas, A&M in. What about... No, Mississippi State's out. Auburn, I would say, is elite. Where are they at? Auburn... Yeah, they're 19th. That's a notch above. I mean, it's close, but it's a notch above. Vanderbilt, nope. What about Kentucky? That could be close. Maybe? Maybe not? Have they been? Oh, 90th. No, they've been really bad. South Carolina, 84th. No. Nope. I think that's going to about do it. All right, so we've knocked out the Big Ten. No, not the Big Ten, the Big 12. The SEC and the ACC. Yeah, Kentucky, no. Yeah, they might have a natty, but it's probably back when nobody existed. Yeah, no to Kentucky, no to South Carolina. South Carolina's actually moved up a little bit on the list, but historically they're not a good program at all. Like at all. I remember in my lifetime, I think it was like 99 where they went 0-12. 0-12. Brad Scott was their head coach. That was a bad year. Yeah, most teams played in weak conferences or just nobody. So, all right, guys. About to jump off here. We're going to try to figure out the live show for the Patreons. So we'll try to do the rest of this. I don't think we're going to finish this particular live show. South Carolina did win the ACC one time back in 65 or 66, something like that. One time. That's it. Anyways, I'm going to get off here. We're going to try to figure out and see if we can do the live show for the Patreon. So if you're Patreon, go check it out. Let's see if it turns into something watchable. Something watchable. That's the goal here. Putting out videos that are watchable. All right. Quick shout-outs before we get off here. Jeff Graham, I missed you. Caleb Ward, Pizza Woman stopped by. Eddie Rose, John Waffle H2P, Buck J, Hummus Hero, Jeff Webster came in a little bit later. Raven Vane. Is that everybody? I think there was somebody else that I'm missing. Maybe not. Nope, I think we're good. That was it. Jeff Barton and Yvette Stowers. I think I missed you. Anybody else? If I missed you out on the shout out, I apologize. I tried to get you, but I think we got everybody. All right, guys, I'm going to roll. We're going to see if we can figure out the Patreon live show, and y'all have a good rest of your weekend. Hopefully I can get this stinking laptop. D4 Sports, I see you, man, getting in there, sliding right under the bell. We're going to try to get this stupid laptop to work. For whatever reason, it decided to go real. I mean, it's crawling right now. We didn't have any sound, and it was glitching, so I don't know what's up with that. PayPal, everything going towards the P.O. Box so that you guys can send mini helmets to display in the background. We need mini helmets, but in order to get those, we need a P.O. Box. So if you think about donating, do it through PayPal so we can get that. All right? Y'all have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next live show, which is just 2 days from now.